Hey, very warm welcome back to the Football Marketing channel. Thank you very much for tuning in this Friday here on the channel. If you're heading to the game tomorrow, you may want to check out this show on audio podcast format as well. It's on all the major podcast platforms. You can download it and listen to it on the way to Derby County tomorrow. We're going to kick off today's show with our guest. At the back end of the show, I want to get you guys involved. If you're watching live, if you're watching on catch up, and get involved in the comments box below. We'll do predicted lineup and score predictions later in the show. But first and foremost, I'm going to bring in my guest for today's show because Chris Hubbard is going to be joining me from the Rams Talk podcast. Chris, thank you very, very much for joining me on the channel this Friday. First and foremost, where can we find you and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so the Rams Talk podcast, we are an eclectic collection of Derby County supporters that have been going for a few years now across the Derby County community. We have a show that's available on all the major platforms, just like you guys are. We have a weekly show, normally on a Sunday, going out on YouTube on a Sunday night or a Monday, depending on when the midweek games are.
Yeah, I'll be checking you out on Sunday then. That is for sure. I want to get all your opinions after this game tomorrow. It's going to be a blustery, windy weekend. So for anybody going to the game, please do take care. It's not going to be a particularly nice weekend, is it, Chris?
No, I don't think you're going to be seeing Barbados at its very, very best with the storm force winds and the driving rain. So, yeah, if you're coming up on the train, bring a coat. It's a good 20-minute walk from the station.
Yeah, that's a good tip for any Saints fan that's going up on the train. I'm coming up tomorrow morning. I'm actually going to go. I live on the Isle of Wight, so tonight I'm actually going to get off the Isle tonight because I know the weather isn't looking terrible. I want to be on what I call the mainland, or we call the mainland, for the morning. So I'm staying in Southampton tonight, ready to travel tomorrow. How are you feeling about the game tomorrow? Do you feeling a little bit? It's been a tough start, hasn't it? Let's be honest. I've read a few comments from Derby fans. John Eustace is taking a little bit of flack for the way you've been playing a bit of a low block at home. What's the feeling, Chris, in the Derby camp at this moment in time in the fan base?
I think, it's very interesting. Right now, I think it's probably one of frustration, but, everyone's kind of sat there waiting for Derby to get going. We stayed up last season in the Championship by the skin of our teeth. Literally on the last game of the season, we played out a phony war with Stoke to get a point so that we could stay up, and Luton Town went down. And I kind of went into this season thinking, great, it's going to change. Last season we were very, very attritional, very workmanlike, and we had to be. We didn't have the players. We were full of League One standard players. And Eustace, he did what was necessary to get us out, but it wasn't pretty. To get us out of that trouble we were in. And this season, there was a lot of talk about we're going to be more entertaining, more front foot. We're going to go for it. We're going to change our formation, play a bit more 4-2-3-1. And it hasn't really happened. We've kind of reverted back to type, and we've kind of just carried on. And I think that the fans are starting to get a little bit frustrated, is to say, is this kind of it? Is this all we've got? We have made a lot of changes, and there are some extenuating circumstances. A lot of new players have come in, and a lot of them, in typical Derby fashion, have been signed and then they've been injured straight away. Only Derby can sign players that then spend 3 months on the sidelines. So they are coming back slowly but surely. But it seems to be we're in this perpetual cycle of drawing 1-1. So, I would expect a 1-1 draw tomorrow. In fact, we'd probably take a point right now. But, frustrating is probably the word.
Yeah, John Eustace has been speaking to the press, and he said he's asked the fans to stay calm and keep supporting his Derby County side as you search for your first home win of the season. That first elusive home win is yet to come. One of 7 teams in the Championship yet to win a home game. It was a 1-1 draw in midweek with Charlton. What was the performance like in midweek against Charlton? A brilliant goal, I've got to say, from a player on loan from Southampton to Charlton Athletic, James Bree. But how was the game? How did you play?
Yes. I mean, well, of course, we weren't really expecting to get a victory against what was he, the self-professed best manager in Europe, Nathan Jones. I think that's how he described his time when he was down there. But. It is quite a worry when Nathan Jones' side comes to your ground, and then actually they play better football than you. That is a real concern. But you said the word calm there earlier on, and you'll probably get to Pride Park and you'll be chanting away in the southeast corner, and you'll probably think, goodness me, it is pretty quiet here, and that's part of the problem because it's kind of chicken and egg situation. The players and the team aren't really performing with any kind of spark and creativity and excitement, so the fans kind of sit there and get a little bit bored, and then of course that just rubs off on the players. So I would expect, if we're losing or drawing at half time, there'll be a smattering of boos as the fans are kind of thinking, where's this all going? We want to be entertained. And we kind of had that early on in the season. We were kind of in the wrong way. We were shipping a lot of goals. We lost 5-3 at home to Coventry very early on in the season. But since then, we've tightened right up, and it's just been a case of perpetually drawing 1-1 or maybe having a close 1-0 defeat. But yeah, and Charlton was more of the same, very poor first half, very defensive.
A few empty seats around the stadium, I noticed as well. I know there's a lot midweek. It was a lot of Sheffield United, but a few empty seats around doesn't help, does it, with the atmosphere? You talked about the atmosphere.
Yeah, well, we always get about 25,000 for a midweek game. Saturday it will be probably 30,000. But a lot of that is the away end. To be fair, I mean Charlton, as you know, don't bring that many with them midweek. So,
I think Saints are bringing a full sellout tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, you'll fill up that corner. So it'll probably it'll be a bit more bouncing Saturday because they'll probably get 30,000 inside. But it just depends on whether we actually go for it a bit. If we start to go for it and then the crowd will wake up. If we kind of sit there and just kind of say, come on then, and you have 70% of the possession, which I'm expecting you to have, then it's going to be pretty quiet down our end.
Yeah. It will be intriguing to see how the game does unravel and how Eustace sets up. Saints are not scoring loads of goals at this moment in time. Started to improve slightly over the last couple of weeks. Got a few injury concerns going into the game tomorrow. I see Dion Sanders in the doubt. What's the state of play in terms of injuries at this moment in time?
Well, most of the players are coming back. I mean, Sanderson would be a worry, because otherwise we'd have to probably play Craig Forsyth at the age of 97 or whatever he is. And, that would give us a bit of a vulnerability. Most of the players are coming back. The player that we really are missing right now is Rhian Brewster, who we took on from Sheffield United. Didn't really do an awful lot there, but in the 2 or 3 games he's played for us this season, he's been kind of the one creative spark, and he's definitely missing. Obviously, we can't play Brereton Diaz, which is a crying shame, but I'm sure we'll talk about him in a minute. So pretty much everyone else is fit. The only other guy that's missing is Sandre Langas, who's probably our first choice centre half, but he's been missing since the start of the season. He's probably not going to be back for another week or so. He might make the bench, but other than that, it's pretty much a full deck for Derby. The issue is just working out which formation they're going to be in and how we're going to get the very best out of them. And that's Eustace's problem. And he hasn't really got that formula right yet. But, we wait and we hope.
Yeah, no, he wherever he's been, he's done well, hasn't he, John Eustace, as a manager? When I look at his recent championship stints, the job he did at Birmingham was brilliant. Blackburn, he knows the championship inside out, experience. You just feel like he just needs a little bit of time just for it all to come together. There's a little bit of edginess down here around Willsteel and Southampton.
I bet there is.
It's taking time. It's taking time. There's expectation, but sometimes just sticking with it, and all of a sudden you're just one result away from the season proper kicking on.
Yeah, and I think that's what everyone's kind of saying. I mean, come on. We only have to go back to the days before then of Paul Warne, who was probably separated at birth from Nathan Jones in terms of his approach to football. We had 2.5 years of that, and Eustace comes in. And to be fair, we didn't care how we played last season. It was just to stay up, and we did. This season we're looking for that bounce, and I think the view is, get everyone fit, and then we will start to turn the corner. And we just need that one game where I think it clicks. The problem for us is creativity, and Eustace is. He's a bit like a poor man's Gareth Southgate. He does like to leave the handbrake on. So, we will be very difficult to break down. You'll find that you'll probably have the majority of the ball. We'll play with a low block. and we'll say, come on then and break us down. And then we'll be looking to nick something from a set piece or a long throw. That's really what we're all about until we get, our real creative players. And we haven't got that many. So Brewster is one, and we probably need a January transfer window to get a couple of wingers in. I mean, we played Brereton Diaz before he was obviously sitting out this week on the wing.
How's he been playing? How's he done so far? Obviously, he had absolutely horrendous time down here. It was.
Oh, he did. He did. Yeah.
Awful.
I mean,
he's not. I don't think he's a terrible player. It just
no, he's not. No, he's
lost
not.
all his confidence.
Yeah. And that's the key point. Yeah, I mean, if you saw his game when he played for Chile a couple of weeks ago, where he missed two absolute sitters from about 3 yards, it kind of sums up where his confidence is at. I mean, we kind of said, look, when we signed him, if we get the Blackburn version of him, it's a heck of a player. He gets about one goal in every 3 games. But if we get the Southampton version, then it's going to be a real dud signing. But confidence is the key. He looks so short of confidence. I mean, he put one in the top corner against Wrexham last Saturday, and you think, oh wow, here we go. But then Charlton, I mean, he was in exactly the same position, and he couldn't really decide whether to cross it and shoot. And in the end, the ball sort of trickled out by the corner flag, and and everyone kind of their heads in their hands, and he just looks dead short of confidence. But I'm not sure whether he actually will fit the system long term. I mean, at the moment we're playing a lopsided sort of 4-4-2, and he's sort of on the left. But the problem is he keeps cutting inside and getting in the centre.
He likes to come inside a lot. Yeah, he does. He does like to come
all
inside
the time. Yeah, and
he's
that's
not a wide
what we
man,
need.
really. He's not a wide man.
And we need wide men. It wouldn't surprise me. There is even talk that we might go to a back 5 against you guys, and we'll just play with the wing backs because we just haven't got any wingers. So whether he features in the long-term plans or not will be quite interesting to see. But yeah, if we get the Blackburn version of him, it'll be great. But there's no signs of that yet. I've got to be honest.
There was no signs when he was here at all. Like, he's got no pace. I found his touch really frustrating. I found him just really frustrating as a player. And I think longer it went, it just got worse and worse for him, really. And there's no way back here for him, I wouldn't think now.
Do you think you're taken back? Yeah, no, we noticed there was no returns label, on the when you sent him up to us in the envelope. We noticed that one.
Yeah, no, they just want to move him off and get him off the wage bill. I think that was always going to be the aim for us tomorrow. Who the key men? Who should we be mindful of? Who starts tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, we'll probably look if we do what we did against Charlton. We'll play a lopsided 4-4-2. Which means that we've got a young lad on loan, Bobby Clark from Salzburg, that will probably drift in off the right hand side. He'll be probably our creator in chief. It's going to be a windy day, and there isn't much of him, so he'll probably just get blown over. You won't even need to push him over yourself. The guys like I mentioned earlier, the guys to watch out for will be the ones that get their heads on the end of the set piece. So we have Carlton Morris, that we signed from Luton. He's actually done pretty well. He's scored 4 goals this season, albeit 2 of them are penalties. But he's actually got a good first touch for a big man. Anything into the box, he'll be on the end of that. So you're going to have to keep an eye out for him. And if your centre halves are not up for a bit of a scrap, then we might get some success there. We've also signed a 6'7" a guy called Patrick Agerman from.
Agerman, I saw that. Yeah,
exactly.
He was wanted by quite a few clubs as well, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. And look, this is Derby County we're talking about here. We shop in the bargain basement. We don't have the sort of money that you guys have got. And we splashed out 5-6 million for him, and there's quite a bit of pressure. He again was injured when we signed him, so he's only just getting into the team. He is lightning quick. Now whether his brain and his legs actually can communicate to each other is another thing. A couple of times he just runs along and falls over, but he could cause you some problems for the ball over the top. So those 2 up top are going to be our main focal point. But outside of that, you're probably going to have to keep your eyes on our centre halves. I mean, Matt Clark, who's a championship, wily old campaigner at centre half. He likes to come up, get his head on things, so it's going to be set pieces. You're not really going to be put to much test by our midfield. It's very workmanlike. We've got Lewis Travis in there from Blackburn, sort of gets it, gives it. If Ebu Adams is playing, he'll just run around the pitch trying to kick anything that moves, but he's not going to trouble you with his skills. So it's going to be the big guys. That's what you're going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, Ross Stewart's is probably the man to look at for Saints
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
moment. It's just look like the old Ross Stewart may be coming back. We've struggled for that focal point up front, so I think he could be real key for us. I think he
Mm,
definitely start tomorrow. Keep confidence going, keep that momentum going. I think our team pretty much picks itself. We'll play with the back five. We'll play with wing backs tomorrow.
will
That's
you?
what I would
Oh,
expect
okay.
us to do. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he's played for the last couple of weeks, and he went back to
interesting.
it against Borough last Saturday. He tried to play a 4-2-3-1 formation, what is his preferred choice.
Mm,
We were obviously leaking goals. We went to Hull City and played that. And McBurney, their centre forward, bullied our two centre backs, Jack Stevens and Taylor Harwood Bellis. And he just, honestly, they ran riot against us.
yeah.
For anything went in the box, they won every single header. So be interested if your manager, Eustace, has looked at it, thought, well, looked at the way that they went after us whole. And if you've got that target around, whether Derby could do something similar tomorrow, that's kind of my feeling on it.
I think so. I think so. It would not surprise me, especially with Brereton Diaz being out, and Eustace has gone back five. He played back five all of the second half of last season when he came in, and he started that way this season as well. And given our lack of wide players, and the fact he's got two big lumps now up front, it would not surprise me if he goes light for light. We signed a young lad, Max Johnston, who plays us on the right-hand side, right back, but he can play wing back, and he's played for Scotland a couple of times. He's actually got a lovely cross on him, so that might be a possible outlet for us. So yeah, I think looking at your side, and I don't know whether Ronnie Edwards will start for you or not at the back.
I think he played tomorrow. Yeah, I do think he played tomorrow. With the back three we've been playing Edward. With the last three, he's played with Ronnie Edwards, Wood, who's been good, really, really good. Nathan Wood has been playing centre back alongside a young lad, Joshua Kwasi. He had a little bit of a nightmare in midweek. He could potentially be dropped for Taylor Harwood Bellis, but I'm not convinced that he'll make the change. I think it'd be those three centre backs. So the two that were involved in the Premier League campaign last year, Harwood Bellis and Stevens, I don't think they'll be involved tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the game. I am looking forward to the game. I really appreciate your insight into Derby County. We appreciate your time on the channel as well. I need to grab a score prediction from you before you go, because I'd love to get your thoughts on how you think it's going to unravel. Do you think there's an upset on the cards, Chris? Or
look, if you go for us, absolutely go for us. I think you'll win. But if you just sit back and tap the ball between the centre halves all afternoon, I can't see it. I will probably just shut up shop. But if you get to 2 goals, it's game over. There's not a chance we're scoring more than 1 goal in any game at the moment. But I had to say, I probably think it's got 1-1 written all over it. You'll probably have the first half, and then if you sit back, then we'll nick one from the centre half. With about 10 minutes to go, that seems to be our modus operandi. But like I say, if you're positive, you press us as well. We're terrible on the ball at the back. You'll get it back quite easily. But I think it'll be an open match. I think the wind will be a factor. It will be. Yeah. What about you? How do you think it's going to go?
I think it's going to be tight. I don't think it's going to be easy. We struggle to break down low blocks, which would be my concern. I don't think there'll be loads of goals in it. I hope that we can go and edge it, but I think, like you say, that conditions are going to play a big role in it. And I actually looked at the last 5 games. There's been 3 draws in the last 5. Derby winning 1, Saints winning 1. So it's kind of like edging towards a draw, isn't it, when you look at prior results? But I don't see it. It won't be an easy game. I wouldn't underestimate Derby County at all. Like we went to Hull. We went to Hull 2 weeks ago, and we thought, we'll turn up there, and on paper we should win that quite comfortably. And they rolled us over. So I don't think you can go anywhere and expect to get results.
There's no easy game, is there?
No,
there's no easy game. Anybody can beat anybody in the league.
Yeah, it's a real tough one. Chris, I really appreciate you coming on the channel today.
Anytime.
It's been an absolute privilege. Make sure you go check out Chris and the podcast. I'm going to leave all the show notes for the Rams Talk podcast in the show notes below, and go and check you out. I'll be checking you out on Sunday without a shadow of a doubt. Chris, thank you so much, mate.
Have a safe journey and enjoy the game. See you soon.
Thank you, mate. Take care. Best wishes. That was Chris from the Rams Talk podcast. It's that time of the show now where I'm going to have a look at my potential predicted lineup, which I haven't actually done in a graphic format today because it's been a crazy couple of days. But I'm going to kind of give you my thoughts on the predicted lineup. You can get involved in the comments box below, and I'd also love to get your score predictions if you're watching live, if you're watching on catch up. are on the way to the game, just get them in the comments box below, because I always love to hear your score prediction. So team lineup wise, I don't think it changes, hence me not bringing the graphic onto the screen. I think it will be as it was against Sheffield United midweek. I don't think Joshua Kwasi drops out. There are a lot of fans would drop Joshua Kwasi this weekend. I would leave it as it is. You make a couple of mistakes and get dropped. You can't keep doing that. It's just going to keep. It will eventually not help the player, in my opinion. I keep him in because the only other option is probably going to be Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Jack Stevens is got an ankle issue, so it looks like he'll probably miss the game tomorrow. I was looking at all the stats on Flash Score this afternoon, and the hot stat: Southampton are in the top 3 teams for goal attempts in the league this season. In 8 matches, we have attempted to score 117 times. The league average is 100.2. So Saints definitely creating the chances, just need to start finding the back of the net a little bit more. Derby have received the highest number of yellow cards this season. In 8 matches, they have received 25 yellow cards. That is a lot. That's mad. Is that right? That statistic? That is ridiculous. It's an average of 3.1 per match. Saints are in the top 3 for the lowest number of goal attempts in the league this season. 8 matches, they've allowed 82 attempts. So that's our goal. So yeah, we know that we're a little bit fragile at the back. And then streaks. This is all from Flash Score. So if any of these stats are wrong, it's on Flash Score, not me. Derby failed to win in any of their last 4 home league matches this season. The Saints have scored in their last 4 away league matches this season, and Derby have failed to win in 7 out of the last 8 league matches this season. And as Chris was saying a short while ago, he's given us an insight into the form of Derby at the moment and how things have been unraveling there. Right, let's get some of your score predictions up on the screen and get a few of your comments as well. Right, Chris is going with a 1-0 win to Southampton. We have, what else do we have? Let's work our way through. I would also swap Kwasi for Taylor Harwood-Bellis. He's not been at it and deserves to be dropped, but a massive overreaction. He'll still probably be our best centre-back when everyone's at their top level. Loads more predictions coming in. Junior Jackson's in the live. He's gone with a 2-0 win to Saints. Ian's tuning in from Florida. He's gone with a 2-1 win to Southampton. There's a good comment on Ben Brereton Diaz here. We were talking with Chris about Ben Brereton Diaz a short while ago. He's absolute pony. Never seen someone flop that bad in the Saints shirt since Carrillo. And he was bad. Yeah. Quite scary, isn't it, really? He did really, really struggle during that time here. Absolutely shocking. This is a great comment, actually. Tanadori Lee, about to beat Derby 4-0 the last time we played in the league. I don't know, actually. I think yes, because I guess last time we were in the Championship, I think we were in different leagues, weren't we? I think they were in League One. So, yeah, I think it could well be, actually. I think that's a really, really good point, actually. Yeah, but it was a brilliant goal. I remember it really, really well. Tanadori Lee was a brilliant player. I don't think Leo Senza starts tomorrow. A few people saying about Leo Senza. I think Steve's gone. Steve's in the live. He's gone with a 2-1 win to stay. I like to see Leo start. I don't think Leo will start. Who do I think will get man of the match tomorrow? Oh, I think it's a tough one. I think Ross Stewart's just about to come into a bit of form. He was brilliant in midweek. It was a man of the match display. 2 goals. Could have had a hat trick. Won the penalty as well. I think he's been superb. Adam Armstrong will start tomorrow. There's no shadow of a doubt about that. Matt's in. Matt Chivy's in. Going for 1-0 to Saints. Yeah, talking about Kwasi as well. I think it'd be a really low scoring game. I don't expect loads of goals in this one, but I'm traveling tonight to try and beat the weather. So spending a few quid on this one. So yeah, the best not let us down and put in a terrible performance. Absolutely agree with this comment from Charlie Page. Shay Charles, he's been incredible. He was good in midweek. I think he's just starting to turn into a really, really good central midfielder. He's just starting to pair as a player. But no, I've been really, really impressed with him. I know there was a comment in the chat below as well about Cameron Archer just looks like a player. Chris was talking about Ben Brereton Diaz not having confidence. I do feel he's in a very, very similar situation, Cameron Archer, where he is just lacking that real confidence at the moment to really drive on. But I've got a lot of time for Cameron Archer. I think he has a big part to play for Saints this season, but he needs to start finding in the back of the net very, very soon, because there's no shadow of a doubt he's a top player. But my predicted lineup tomorrow is unchanged. I've got the quotes on the bottom of your screen from both the managers. John Eustace went on to say in his press conference that Saints have a lot of quality, Championship and Premier League experience. We know they're going to come and dominate the ball and show what a good footballing team they are. And I think there's no doubt we'll have a lot of the ball. I think Saints have got the most possession of any side at this moment in time in the Championship, which it doesn't seem like it, doesn't it, from the games that we have watched. But yeah, John Eustace are very worried that Saints will have a lot of the balls. He was speaking to the local press yesterday. I've seen a little bit of his press conference, and I listened to a few bits with BBC Sport Derby, and he said it's up to the players and staff at Derby to make sure they score goals and not concede them. He said he knows that the fans are going to be right behind them, win, lose or draw. Their frustrations, of course, when we're not playing as well as we like to, as fluid as we like to be. But it's going to come throughout the season, and he feels that they are growing as a team. We are building the way. The boys want to stick to the task that they did on Tuesday. After half-time, it was excellent. He said, I think they had a far better second half. I think everyone could see the commitment and the football was good. We had a number of opportunities, said Eustace. We're going to improve and we're going to get better. Everyone just needs to stay calm and keep supporting the boys. It's his rallying call at the moment, John Eustace, to keep supporting the boys. It'd be interesting to see if Saints got an early lead tomorrow, how the fans would react inside Pride Park. It's my second visit actually to Pride Park tomorrow. I've only been there twice. Will Steele, what's he had to say ahead of the game? He said, we done well Saturday against Middlesbrough, but we were frustrated with the result. We've done well against Sheffield United. We now need to make sure we do that tomorrow. And it could turn out to be, if he can go and get the result tomorrow still, and Saints could get the result tomorrow that we really need, it sets us up nicely going into the international break. But to take 7 points from the prior 3 games, I think that you'd be absolutely delighted with that. Really, 7 points in the 3-game week would be absolutely outstanding in my opinion. Coming to the back end of the show now, going to read out a few more comments in the live stream, because this is a broadcast live this evening, this pre-match show. Ben Carroll's in the live. Ben, hope you're well, my friend. Safe travels tomorrow. 2-0 Saints in the battle of 11 versus 12 points. Bazunu Maka had the better defence in front of him. I think Maka will start in goal tomorrow. I don't think Damien Downs will make the matchday squad tomorrow. He wasn't involved in midweek. That is, I don't see him changing goalkeeper. I think he did make a good save early on in the game the other night as well. So I do think I know it's mad, isn't it? Like, we have Aaron Ramsdale not playing any football at Newcastle United, without shadow of a doubt, a superb goalkeeper not playing, and we've got 2 goalkeepers that none of us are massively confident in. I really like Gillette. I like him a lot, Gillette. I think he's a top player. I want to see him start getting minutes. I think we all want to see him start getting minutes. The under-21s play at St Mary's actually tonight. They're playing Derby County's under-21s tonight. I was going to go and watch it, but I don't think I'll be in Southampton quite in time for that one. Right, if you're watching on Catch Up, get involved in the comments box below. Please do give me all your score predictions. And tomorrow, post-match, what's the content tomorrow? So we'll be at Derby for the game. There will be an instant reaction video within the hour of the final whistle, as long as I can get internet. It's always dictated to by the internet, but I will get an instant reaction video out at the final whistle. That will be here on my YouTube channel, and you can always pick up a short version of that instantly over on TikTok as well. And there will be a matchday vlog from the game tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. I will cover everything from leaving tonight to getting home tomorrow, fingers crossed. It's all weather dependent, which is, it's getting windy. I'm sat in the studio and I can hear the wind whistling around outside. It's getting stronger and stronger since I've been sat here. Steve is just saying in the chat before we go, to just read this one out. Ramsdale not even in the England squad. Such a shame he left us in the summer. Yeah, it's not going to do his England chances any good whatsoever. It may do his bank balance some good, I guess. Pricey hotel. No, I've got an Airbnb tonight. The Southampton boat show's not on, so the hotels in Southampton are not too bad this evening. Right. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Massive shout out to Chris, our guest today. He was brilliant. We've had some good guests on this channel this year, and I thought Chris was a tremendous guest. So a massive shout out to Chris from the Rams Talk podcast for joining us. Guys, safe travels tomorrow, and I'll see you again soon.